Hello everyone! Happy Thursday! We are back with another Acne Live. This is probably, who knows, like the 15th or 15th plus episode of our Thursday Acne Lives. Every single Thursday we dive into a new topic that has to do with acne, and this week's is a little bit accidentally timely. I don't know if you guys have seen the news, but a lab did a study on benzoyl peroxide and it caused quite the uproar. There were a lot of really sensationalist headlines saying that these BPO products, benzoyl peroxide products, were leaking benzene, which is a carcinogen. But once people really started digging into this study, it was clear that the benzoyl peroxide products only started to emit some of that toxic gas once they were in a hot, humid environment for over 20 hours straight. So basically the lesson from these headlines in this study is that you should not be storing your benzoyl peroxide products in a hot car in the sun for 20 hours straight. So it's really interesting. The lab that did this study on benzoyl peroxide is the same lab that caused a very big uproar about benzene in sunscreens last summer. And the FDA actually came out and put out a public statement saying that the study that they did was actually very flawed. They were putting these products under extreme conditions that products would not normally be under. So if you've seen some of these topics about BPO, I'd love for you to chime in. Let me know what your thoughts are. There's been some really awesome cosmetic chemists and dermatologists who have created some content surrounding this topic and how that study is a little flawed. You know, there are a lot of chemicals in our day-to-day life that are perfectly safe as long as we are not using them in inappropriate manners or mixing them with the wrong chemicals, or leaving them in a hot car for 20 plus hours straight in over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So just be careful with your products. Don't store your products in the car. Don't store your products in the hot sun. Keep them in a nice cool place like in your bathroom cupboard and you're not going to have any problems. So anyways, that's a little bit off topic because yes, we're talking about benzoyl peroxide today, but at the same time, we're not. So, benzoyl peroxide, for any of you who know, is a very popular product. And this live isn't to say that BPO is not an amazing product. BPO is an incredibly helpful ingredient. It is one of the most clinically studied ingredients for acne out there. It is really helpful. How it works is it is exposing the bacteria in your pore to oxygen, and that acne bacteria cannot survive in that environment. Oxygen kills that bacteria. Beyond that, benzoyl peroxide is also a keratolytic. What that means is it does promote cell turnover and it is exfoliating. So not only is it targeting the bacteria in your pores and killing it, but it also helps exfoliate the pore. And these are two key parts of clearing acne. As some of you may know, the main causes of acne in the pore is the excess sebum, bacteria, clogged pores that are clogged by dead skin cells and sebum, and inflammation. So, two of those things are targeted by benzoyl peroxide, the killing of the bacteria and the removing of the dead skin cells and oil that are clogging the pore. BPO also does have an anti-inflammatory effect, but that's more because it's killing the bacteria that's creating the inflammation. It's not necessarily a direct inflammation targeter, but it lowers inflammation because it's killing that bacteria. So benzoyl peroxide, pretty amazing product, but the downside is there are actually quite a few people who are allergic to benzoyl peroxide. They're not able to use it on their skin. They'll get a rash, their skin will feel very red and hot. And then there's also some people who just have really sensitive skin, and benzoyl peroxide is just a little too strong. It just is a little too much activity for them. Their skin just doesn't tolerate it. So this video is for you folks who are either allergic to it or it's just a little too strong for you. So What we are looking for in a benzoyl peroxide alternative is something that can kill bacteria. While benzoyl peroxide also does have that catalytic effect of exfoliating the skin, really where benzoyl peroxide's magic is happening is its ability to inject oxygen into the pore, killing the C. acne bacteria. So when we're looking for alternatives, we're looking for something to kill that bacteria. So the first alternative I have for you is using hydrogen peroxide. But this is very different from using like a drugstore hydrogen peroxide in the container. You know, the hydrogen peroxide that you put on a wound and it starts fizzling. We're not using something like that. So the way that a pure, high-intensity hydrogen peroxide works is it is killing off organic material. So it's killing all the bacteria. So that's why it's so helpful for a wound, because you can apply it to your wound. It's going to kill any bacteria. It's going to keep infection from happening. But if you use straight hydrogen peroxide on your skin, you're going to be again and again killing all bacteria on your face, including the good bacteria. So you want to use a buffered hydrogen peroxide on your skin. And that's why we like the Michelle Corley Purifying Oxygen Lotion. So I know some of you are used to seeing this in a jar. They did move it into a pump. This keeps the product more potent over time, so it is not losing efficacy from being in a jar. This keeps it all sealed up and safe. This is very different from Acne Med, which is a BPO product. If you're used to Acne Med or most BPO products, they're not moisturizing at all because you cannot formulate benzoyl peroxide with a lot of heavy oils or waxes, or it's not able to do what it needs to do. But with hydrogen peroxide, it is actually nice that it has some oils and waxes, some buffers for that hydrogen peroxide, because it is quite an intense substance to use on your skin. We just want a little gentle douse of hydrogen peroxide. So this one does have a nice creamy base to it. It's got some sunflower oil. What I like about this is you can use it twice a day. So I'm going to put some on my hands so you guys can see it. This is like a moisturizer. Folks who use this as their daily moisturizer. It has like maybe the faintest hydrogen peroxide scent, but it's very, very faint. It mostly smells like lavender because there's just a teeny tiny bit of lavender extract in this cream. It rubs right in. There's no grittiness, no balling that happens. And this is if you are using this in place of BPO, you're using this twice a day as your moisturizer. If you have like very, very, very dry skin, you could layer a heavier cream on top, like cran peptide or something. But typically, I don't feel that clients need that. So something to note about hydrogen peroxide versus benzoyl peroxide, hydrogen peroxide doesn't have that catalytic effect that the benzoyl peroxide has. So one thing that is added to this formula is salicylic acid, because salicylic acid is a keratolytic. That is going to help exfoliate dead skin cells off of your face. So it has that combination, so you're getting that double whammy, but the salicylic acid in here is not strong enough to be your only corrective. I do highly recommend layering a corrective serum underneath your purifying oxygen lotion. So if you're doing a face reality routine, that would be your mandelic serum or your salicylic serum. That would be layered underneath your purifying oxygen lotion. Because this doesn't have nearly as strong of a catalytic effect as BPO, I do also recommend adding in some more exfoliation into your routine if you're going to be swapping out your Acne Med for purifying oxygen lotion. And you can do that in a few different ways, but I like to switch it up with your cleanser. So 9 out of 10 acne clients are using Ultra Gentle Gel Cleanser from Face Reality. That's because it's so gentle, it's easy to use, and it's going to get your skin completely clean and ready to absorb all of your different ingredients without overstripping your skin. But if you have gotten rid of the Acne Med in your routine, you need a little bump up. So it's nice to bump up your cleanser to something a little bit more active. And I have 2 quick suggestions for you guys. They're both mandelic acid cleansers because mandelic acid is just amazing. It has a larger molecule, so it doesn't go as deep into the skin as something like salicylic or glycolic, and it is more gentle, but it is very effective. It is also antibacterial and antifungal. So many folks struggle with fungal acne, and mandelic acid is going to be your choice acid for that. So the two cleansers that I recommend looking at adding into your routine to add a little more exfoliation if you're using purifying oxygen lotion is either the Glamed Idyllic Cleanser. This is a 3% mandelic acid cleanser. It has no scent to it. I find that really anyone can use this except for extremely sensitive, extremely dry skin. But it is just it's just such a lovely cleanser. It's a gel cleanser that foams up really nicely. A little goes a long way, so this bottle will last you probably close to 6 months. Using it twice a day, maybe a little bit less, but I use mine once a day. This is my favorite nighttime cleanser, and I've had the same bottle for 5 months now. So that gives you kind of an idea of how quickly you'll go through this. It's just a really big bottle. It does have some chamomile and green tea in here, so you're gonna get some calming effect and some antioxidants. But this is just a really nice upgrade if you need a little extra exfoliation in your routine. My other one, so this one is for folks who are more on the oily combination side. You've made the switch from, or maybe you're not able to tolerate BPO at all, and you've never been able to use BPO, and so you're only using a mandelic acid, and you've added in your purifying oxygen lotion. Then I would upgrade your cleanser from a gentler cleanser to a scrub. This is the mandelic acid face and body scrub, but this is not that strong. So this is about a 1.5 to 2% mandelic acid cleanser. So that's not very much mandelic acid. It's really gentle. It has honey, it has glycerin, it has these gentle jojoba beads that are perfectly spherical, so they are not scratchy on your skin at all. It's just a nice combination of gentle mandelic acid and a light scrubbing action. I don't recommend using this twice a day. I just think it's going to be too much unless you have like very oily, very resilient skin. But for most folks, this is really nice once a day. Just use it whenever you like to shower. I always recommend if you're going to use a scrub, make it your shower cleanser because otherwise it's going to be annoying to rinse off. Rinsing off a scrub at the sink, it's bound to just be in your hairline and be in annoying places. So use a scrub in the shower, just much easier to rinse off that way. But this is the other cleanser I recommend if you're just needing a little more exfoliation because you're not using benzoyl peroxide. So those are my alternatives that are really for pushing oxygen into the skin. I do have another product I want to mention that works with oxygen. So this is the Glamed Oxygen Cream. And this is not going to give you quite that packed punch of oxygen as the hydrogen peroxide that's in the Michelle Corley cream or as BPO, but it can be very, very helpful for acne-prone skin, especially if you're on the sensitive side and you're not able to tolerate a lot of strong corrective products. So Oxygen Cream actually uses nasturtium extract, which helps to release oxygen on your skin. It also has like the most unique texture. It's very hard to show that on camera, but this tester unit is also almost empty. But it looks like a cream. And then you start to massage it into your skin, and it, like as it warms, it slightly changes texture. And that is the formula, kind of has its own little chemical reaction on your skin, and it's starting to release oxygen. So this is not only helpful for acne, it's also really helpful for aging skin because oxygen is, the amount of oxygen in your skin as you age lowers. So it's really important to get that oxygen, and it has just such an interesting texture. It goes from creamy to liquidy. It's very hard to describe, but it's a really unique product. Not much of a smell. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's a smell to that, but in my opinion, there's really no scent to this product, the Oxygen Cream from Glamed. This is a very lightweight moisturizer. So oily skin types, this is your only moisturizer. Dry skin types, this would go underneath your regular moisturizer. I have not experimented with using this layered with the purifying oxygen lotion. I think that you would just choose one or the other. you're going to get tons of oxygen from either option, and it's going to be killing bacteria. So I want to give you guys another option. If you have really dry, really sensitive skin, correctives are just not your friend. You need a way to kill the bacteria on your skin. So a really great way to do that without exfoliating your skin at all is with blue LED light. If you've not heard about blue LED light, it is actually an FDA cleared method to kill acne bacteria on your skin. The one that we love is the Light Stim for Acne. I'm going to plug this in for you guys so you can see it. So, this is your handheld light device. And you'll notice when I turn it on, it doesn't look blue. It looks like a purpley pink. Gosh, it's actually hard to capture that on camera. But it is actually a purpley pink color. And the reason for that is kind of unique to an acne light. What they did is they chose to combine the blue light, which kills acne bacteria, with red light, which is healing and collagen stimulating and helps with healthy aging concerns. So when you use the Light Stim for Acne, it's keeping acne at bay, and it's also giving you preventative aging help as well. This is also going to balance sebum production in the skin as well, which is what, as we said earlier, is another key part of acne formation. So the Light Stim for Acne, this is preventative because it is killing that bacteria and keeping the acne from forming at all. The red light in here is going to speed up healing, but the Light Stim for Acne is just keeping those breakouts from coming up at all. Just before the acne can form, this is going to kill the acne bacteria. The important note on using a Light Stim is that you have to be consistent with it. If you don't think you'll be consistent with it, it might not be the product for you. You should be using this 4 to 5 days a week for at least the first month, maybe a little bit longer until you are starting to get more clear. Then you could cut down to 3 days a week, but really 4 to 5 days a week, you should be using it. I will say, just find a routine that works for you. I like to use mine when I'm sitting on the couch and reading a book or maybe doing a little doom scrolling on my phone. All you need is one hand, and there is a built-in timer in the device. So you plug it in, you turn it on, and you just set it on a spot on your face. Then it will beep, and you'll move it around. It's going to be 3 minutes per section of your face. You could potentially only use this on the areas of your face that are breakout prone, but I like to hit the whole face because then you're going to get the benefits of the red light, which is helping with that healing and regeneration of your skin. So I know it's a little bit of an investment, but these things, I've never had one die on me. They're really quality devices. This is the Light Stim for Acne. And just if you have sensitive skin that really doesn't tolerate strong correctives and a lot of correctives, having a Light Stim on hand is very, very helpful for killing bacteria and keeping breakouts at bay. So Sarah wants to know, what is the difference between the two oxygen creams? Great question. So the Michelle Corley Purifying Oxygen Lotion is using hydrogen peroxide to bring oxygen to the pore, as well as a little bit of salicylic acid. It is also a thicker and creamier consistency. You would use this twice a day, and it's going to give you a stronger clearing action for acne. If you have more acne, I would recommend this one. If you have milder acne, you can go for the Glamed Oxygen Cream. It is still giving you oxygen, but it's not quite as intense of a treatment as the Michelle Corley Purifying Oxygen Treatment. This is really nice for anyone who just has mild acne, or maybe you have some healthy aging concerns, or if you have a lot of overproduction of sebum, this is going to help with balancing sebum production, and very oily skin that just likes a lightweight texture. And this is using nasturtium extract. That is the oxygenating ingredient in this. This does not have hydrogen peroxide or salicylic acid like the Michelle Corley product does. Okay, last but not least, I have one last product for you guys because a lot of folks love BPO as a spot treatment. And so I have another spot treatment for you. So, Sulfur Spot Treatment from Face Reality. This is a benzoyl peroxide free spot treatment. It is using 6% sulfur. Sulfur is anti-inflammatory, antibacterial. It is lightly keratolytic, so it is lightly exfoliating dead skin cells, but it's not it's not a very strong keratolytic. It's not going to cause any peeling or any over-the-top drying out of the skin. It also does help absorb some excess oil and sebum on the skin as well. This also has a peptide in it that helps with calming redness. So it's going to help calm the redness caused by your breakouts. This is a really nice spot treatment. I find personally that the Purifying Oxygen Lotion is really great for preventative, but if you already have an active acne cyst that is on your skin, grab the Sulfur Spot Treatment. This was created for treating pimples that have already surfaced and minimizing the time that they're going to be alive and existing on your face. This is going to be calming it down, bringing down inflammation and redness, and killing bacteria. So, in my opinion, I think it's really important to have a spot treatment on hand because it just really helps minimize the time that you're dealing with an active breakout, and it's going to help minimize the redness and the scarring that is left behind. So, key product to have on hand. This is the old packaging, actually. The new packaging is a beautiful gray tube, and we do have that new packaging. It is currently shipping out. So, if you are excited about the new packaging, Sulfur Spot Treatment is in the new packaging now. Our tester unit is in this smaller one. And while I'm here, I've showed you guys the texture of everything, so let me show you the texture of Sulfur Spot Treatment. So, okay, twice in like the 4 years that this product has been out, I've had a client tell me that they can't stand the smell of this, that it smells horrible, like sulfur. I can't smell it. It blows my mind every time I get that feedback from a customer because I can't smell any sulfur. And I know what smell they're talking about. I've been to some sulfur baths, and I know what that gross sulfur smell is. But I don't smell it at all in this product. It's just a clear gel. It dries right down. This does not cause sensitivity to the sun, so you can wear this during the day. You can put a very thin, light layer of this over breakouts, allow to dry, put on moisturizer and sunscreen on top. And that's kind of nice because, you know, a lot of Acne Med benzoyl peroxide products you can't put creams on top of, and it's not recommended to use them during the day. So the nice thing about Sulfur Spot Treatment is you can use it during the day. Just put your moisturizer and sunscreen right on top. Some people actually like to mix Sulfur Spot Treatment with Hydro Balance, which I have actually tried a couple times, and it makes a little bit tacky in texture. But once you've layered your moisturizer and sunscreen over the top, you don't even notice that texture anymore. But that is another option. All right, you guys, I'll be back next week on Thursday. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. I know I will. And I will see you all next week.